right, protect yourself at all times. We are on it. Here we go. Ron Futrell with the latest edition of the Vegas Sportscast. Thanks for listening, telling a friend, letting people know about the Vegas Sportscast. Okay, hockey, a lot of stuff going on there with the Stanley Cup playoffs. We will talk about that in depth in a moment. We had the Masters, pretty good Masters. Okay, Bubba Watson didn't win, but performed, showed up. Rory McIlroy was there, Ricky Fowler was there, but we'll talk about the winner and how the Masters went yesterday. 51s are in action at Cashman Field as we got minor league baseball last season at Cashman Field before they move into their nice new facility in Summerlin. Okay, first of all, a lot of hockey. Vegas Golden Knights, a ton of stuff going on there. On Sunday it was announced, and because of the pairings, the seedings, they're going to be playing the Kings, the LA Kings, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, first round, best of 7. It goes with a 2-2-1-1-1 format, meaning the first 2 games are going to be here, Wednesday and Friday at T-Mobile Arena. The next 2 games, Sunday and Tuesday, will be down in Southern California at the Staples Center. Then they rotate back and forth, 1-1-1, with the final 3 games, if necessary. Best of 7, first team to win 4 wins. And I'm going to guess, hey, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Good, hard-fought, tight series between these 2 teams in light of what they did during the regular season. Okay, they played 4 games in the regular season. They split those 4 games. Couldn't be any closer and tighter of a series between these 2 teams than what we saw with the Kings and the Golden Knights this year. 2 of the games went to overtime, and they split those. One won a game in overtime, the other won a game in overtime. Oh, let's see. Oh, and their home and road record is 2-2. So they've split their game. They each won a game at the other person's arena. They each lost a game at the other person's arena. So it is as tight as it gets. One of the concerns about the Kings, Jeff Carter's healthy now and playing well for them. Their center, very talented, was out with an injury for most of the season. With him back, that's going to make things tough for the Golden Knights. But that being said, Golden Knights have 2 of their top players back, David Perron and Riley Smith. And Riley Smith is the guy that stirs the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, the guy that makes things happen. I mean, he really does. He is not somebody that's recognized as much as, say, William Karlsson, obviously, because Karlsson finished with 43 goals. And number 1 in the NHL. By the way, Karlsson was number 1 in the NHL in the plus-minus category, meaning on the ice for more goals than not. They do that. If you're on the ice when a goal is scored, you get a point. When you're on the ice when a goal is scored against you, you get a minus, which indicates what a great defensive forward he is. And Gerard Gallant keeps saying that, and he's right. He is a very good defensive forward. When William Karlsson is on the ice, the Knights score and the other teams don't. That's what the plus-minus means, and that's what he has done better than anybody else in the NHL. But that top line now is going to be at full strength with Riley Smith, Jonathan Marchessault, and William Karlsson in there on that front line. And what that does is it strengthens every other line down, because you're having to replace people, pull people off other lines. But so the Knights, for the first time in a long time, going to be in full strength. Oh, Lucas Pisa on defense is going to be back as well. So good timing on that. That's what they needed. That's what they needed to have happen. He's the guy that guards the guy on defense. He is the guy that goes in there and at times will be put on their top scorers. So look for that to be good, interesting, fun. It'll be crazy on a Wednesday. First ever Stanley Cup game here in Las Vegas. I mean, the season of first. Everything that happens here with Vegas Golden Knights is a first. They got practice today going on at City National Arena in Summerlin, so the team will be out there. They're going to talk to the media afterwards. I'll be out there and have the latest on that. May do some interviews there with my phone and be able to bring you those at some point as well. So that's the story with the Golden Knights, and now we go to the next chapter. Inaugural season, setting all sorts of records, won the Pacific Division, did everything that they did just remarkably this first year. So now we'll see if they can take that into the playoffs. It is a different game in the playoffs. I did a story on this a couple of weeks ago on Channel 8. It is a different game during the playoffs, much more intense. Everything is under a microscope. Penalties are called differently. by the refs. Maybe not as many penalties. You don't want to take penalties, obviously, because that can make the difference in a game. During the regular season, when it makes a difference in a game, that hurts. But in the playoffs, it can cost you a playoff series. So that's the key right there. Masters played yesterday in Augusta, final round, finished off. Patrick Reed holds on to win and be able to take the Masters. His first ever major win, his first Masters. Tiger made the cut, but finished way back in the pack. I was on Bubba Watson, loved seeing his performance. He played well. And Rory McIlroy, there was a good matchup there. They played in the Ryder Cup against each other, of course, different countries. Rory McIlroy representing Europe. He's from Northern Ireland. And Patrick Reed's from Texas. So on different sides, but they had a lot of fun playing against each other back then at the Ryder Cup and enjoyed that, seemed to. And again, playing that final round yesterday. They were in the final group, final pairing. And it came down to having to hit about a 3.5-foot putt, which he nailed. And Patrick Reed, he's quietly been one of the best golfers in the country. I know you can say that about a lot of golfers, but Bubba Watson's not quiet. Ricky Fowler's not quiet. Rory McIlroy's not. Justin Spieth, go down the list. These guys. But not a lot of people know Patrick Reed. They know him now with that Masters victory. Las Vegas 51s in action here in Vegas and had a home series over the weekend. So it's nice to see them out for the final season at Cashman Field. They're going to be moving to the new stadium up in Summerlin. Close to $100 million is what it's going to take to build that. And it's scheduled to be ready for the team next year so that Cashman Field can be turned into a 100% soccer stadium all the time. This year it's a hybrid. It's going to go back and forth between baseball and soccer. And so I think that hurts the soccer product more than anything else because it just doesn't – you've got no fans out there in the outfield area. So on one side, everybody's on half of the field, and the other half of the field, one end zone and one sideline, there's no fans there. So they need to have that arena-style setting to really create the atmosphere, and I'll have to wait for next year for that with the Las Vegas lights when that takes place. So that's it. Busy Monday for you here, and a lot going on. We'll stay tuned this week. We're doing a lot of stuff on the Golden Knights and what's happening there with their matchup with the Kings. It was rough and tumble when they played last time. Final note here: it was crazy. I mean, it was penalties, not fights, but close to it. Some hard hitting when they played last time, and that's going to be happening again for this series between these two. Now, the Kings have a natural rivalry already with the Ducks. They've had that for years, so it's hard to step in there and go, wait a second, now we're the new rivals. They see, I'm going to guess the Kings see the Knights as just the new kids on the block, which the Knights are. But don't underestimate them. Don't do that. So that's it. That's the way I see it. Thanks for listening. Have yourself a nice Monday. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Google Play. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us all over the place with the Vegas Sportscast. Our website is thevegassportscast.com. And, of course, on Twitter, @Vegas Sportscast. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Bye for now.